Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Davis, and today I have a new RC model review. It's the Blade Eclipse 360 Coast Guard Edition. We're going to take it outside and we're going to fly it with a friend of mine. He's going to chase it around with an FPV drone. We're also going to have some hat cam footage. I'm going to show you the different flight modes that it has on here. It is kind of an intermediate style helicopter, but it is a pretty cool design. And let me give you some sort of insight about what this design is inspired by and what it's all about. And then we'll go out and fly. Now, the Coast Guard Edition, again, in my mind, just looks way better than the silver version. I thought that was pretty cool and futuristic, but I'm a big fan of the military scale stuff, so this one really does it for me. If you know anything about helicopters, you know that this one is sort of inspired by the MH-65 Dolphin. That one came out in the 1970s. It's been updated since by the U.S. Coast Guard, more of a modern style, not quite this modern looking, but it does have that classic Finestron ducted tail in the back, just like this one does, which is pretty cool. And this one has a 3-inch 5-blade ducted prop in there with a brushless motor, as well as a brushless motor running the head on this heli. And now mine's all bound up to the radio. Thank God for the automatic information transfer from the receiver to the radio. So that means that you don't have to set up this heli yourself. You don't have to do all of the servo setup, the swash setup. You don't have to do any of that. It asks you when you're binding it, do you want to transfer the receiver settings to the radio? If you click yes, it transfers everything from the receiver over to the radio, which saves you tons of time and frustration setting up a helicopter. If you've never done that before, it can be really intimidating. So you also won't have that tragedy when you first go to fly on your maiden, which will save you a lot of headaches because everything on there will be perfectly set up when you have your first flight. And speaking of flying, I think we should go out right now. We should fly this together. Okay, so I do have some multiple flight modes on here. I've got stability mode. I also have full manual mode. And I'm gonna stand back a little bit because it does have some good head speed. It is a 500 after all. Coming up, gonna launch. Quiet. And we're off. I'll try to keep it nice and level for Diego flying behind us. Got some LEDs on the front. Makes it nice to see the front. Pretty smooth. I don't want to hit a goalpost over there, that's for sure. I'm going to go up a little higher. Make a nice right bank. Turn to the right. It feels good. I think my first impression of it is that it's not scary to fly. But it is it's really actually really quiet. I thought it was gonna have a much more aggressive head speed. Man, look at the blade disc on top. That looks cool. I should come over a little closer so you guys can see that blade disc on top, because you have all of the black and white stripes on the props on the blades on this head. So do a little side to here. Very nice. So I'll dip it back a little bit so you guys can see that. Get a little low to the ground. We got quad support out here today. Man, that's quiet. Look at that. Let's give it a pitch bump. Okay. So I believe I am in low rates right now too. So let's do some hands-off test. We'll come over here and it's gonna drift because it doesn't have any kind of position hold or anything like that, but that's hands-off, just a little bit of extra throttle there. Kind of drifting to the right a little bit. Let's check out our yaw rate. Got a pretty good yaw rate. All right, full stick forward. Oh yeah, it's got plenty of angle of attack there. So I think there's a good amount of expo on here for sort of easy for beginners, because there's not a lot. It doesn't really start to react until you get way out to the outside edge of my gimbals. So it's pretty soft on the controls. Right there was a pretty hard all the way out to the outside movement, and it really did it makes me look like I'm a better pilot than I really am. And so, you know, they do have high-low rates on here. And what was cool was that one of the first times, and I'm just getting back to Spectrum after about 15 years of not flying Spectrum, so I'm pretty excited to be back flying a Spectrum radio. This is my first one since like the DX6. I mean, now what that means is you don't have to do a whole bunch of programming for your RC helicopter, which if you've ever tried to program an RC heli, it's a lot to do. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Your first flight test is always, if you're a beginner, it's always kind of a guess of like, oh, is everything balanced out right? Do I have everything going the right direction? All that stuff. So all of that was taken care of for me. I like that. It's got a little red LED on the back left and a green one on the right. I do like the yaw rate. Okay, and there is an idle up on here as well for guys that fly helis. You know about idle up. We've got throttle cut on here. I love that. Man, I love that tail blade. That is cool. And it flies slow in low rates, nice enough. Like you could do scale flying with it. Sort of like a modern, futuristic US Coast Guard heli. Pretty cool. It looks beautiful in the sunlight and the green grass, all that stuff. What's nice too, if you're a beginner, you like the military or civil aviation stuff, is that orange is so easy to see. And with the black canopy on the front, I don't really lose where the front of the heli is. And you know, guys that are training to fly heli for the first time, they tell you to keep an eye on the nose, you know, flying line of sight. I mean, you could definitely FPV this thing if you wanted. It's mild enough that you could do that. So, I've heard my transmitter already beep. It's telling me that I need to come in and land. It's really cool. So again, you can probably do some auto land with this, or some auto rotation if you want. Some guys get fancy and do that. They'll hit the throttle cut and just kind of auto rotate to the ground. It's been a long time since I did that. So I'm kind of scared it might throw some weird pitch into it and slam me into the ground, but I could get a little bit higher, see if I could do that. I should just land it regular, just so we don't have any surprises, but auto rotation was always fun to do. Oh, tail spun out just a little bit, but hey, it auto-rotated a little bit, but satisfying is watching those blades come down to a stop. Man, that's freaking cool. That is freaking cool. So I'll take you guys back to the bench. I'll show you a little more of what's inside this heli, how it's set up, and how it binds up to the radio. It's pretty easy. Let's go back to the bench together. All right, my friend, welcome back from the flight test. This is the box that you get in the mail. And the heli itself does come with some extra landing gear in the box, which you can use if you're taking off of grass or non-hard surfaces where you have to land. You need a little more clearance, but these will not fit in the box. If you're going to use it as a case, you have to take the wheels off the heli. They're pretty easy to put on. They only have one bolt here, and they are rubber. Now, as far as the heli body, the scale, the paint job, the rotors on top, giving me a nice disc view, I think it's really easy to see. If you're somebody who has a problem being able to see the orientation, like where the front or the back is of your RC heli, I think the orange and black design with the white tail rotor really help it in the field a lot. So for the older guys who have a problem kind of seeing where their heli is, this paint job really helps people see it. And it also comes with blade holder in the box, which I think was nice, kind of holding and tucking back the sort of ears of your heli, if you will. You can open those up when you're ready to fly. And again, you have like a 30.6-inch diameter on the heli, which is a pretty good size. It almost looks like a 500 out in the field. And the canopy is held on by one magnet in the front and two posts in the back. It does have some airflow through right here to cool the motor and the ESC inside this heli. So the outer shell made of foam, nice EPP foam. It does give some durability and protection to all of this mechanics inside the rotor head. So a lot of this has some protection, and you can see the injection molded plastic frame inside here. It does have some metal and aluminum parts as well. It has the main rotor just inside there, as well as some digital servos. They are Metal Gear servos, which makes it a lot tougher and a lot more durable. Metal Gear servos up front right here controlling the pitch axis. And just above that servo, we have two little blocks here, which you might not have noticed, but it does help stop the battery from sliding into the rotating brushless motor. So that's really nice. This is a 3018 2800 kV brushless motor. Now, one of the other things that this heli has is AS3X, and AS3X is a Horizon Hobby made flight controller for the Blade series helis, which allows it to have the kind of the ultimate stabilization. And it also takes a lot of the feeling of the wind pushing things around out of the flight experience, and allows you to fly a much smaller, say, plane in more windy conditions. It feels like a bigger plane. So that translated over to the RC Heli, especially this size at the 350 millimeter size, really does give it kind of a solid, locked in, stable feel until you want to flip the switch and go into full manual mode if you want. And you could 3D this one on 3S. But the biggest benefit of AS3X on a heli is you have a bail switch. You can flip the switch and it will auto level back from flying full manual mode. If you're trying to learn how to fly 3D with this, which I don't know why you would, but you have that option. If you get in trouble or you lose orientation of it or it's spinning the wrong direction, you can flip that button and it'll auto level automatically. So it is kind of a good full manual mode, normal mode trainer. And for those of you guys who haven't seen this, this is the smart charger from Spectrum. It's the S2200 G2. It is kind of amazing because it is a smart charger, and once you plug in your IC3 connector right here, it shows you what type of battery it is. And then once you plug in the balance lead, it's kind of crazy because it does initiate smart charging. And if you wait just a second, watch what happens. It automatically starts charging at a safe rate. You can change the rate. You can go in here and change a whole bunch of settings, and I'll do a full review on this later. But for guys who just kind of want to have something that is a sort of a very safe style charger in the house, this is going to be a step above a lot of the LiPo chargers out there that you can cause a fire with. So this is a very smart, advanced 2-channel dual charger. Very cool. So you can see there it turns green when the charge is done. And now we're ready to fly this battery. Now, I think my favorite part of this Spectrum ecosystem is the fact that it can transfer the settings from the helicopter, from whatever aircraft you're binding from, to the radio settings. So it does all the model setup for you, which is kind of amazing. So the way this works is it's pretty easy. We're just going to plug in the heli. Once we plug in the heli, it's going to do the startup chime here. I'm going to press the satellite button on the side, and we're going to wait for it to blink. When you see it blinking, you're ready to bind it up to your radio. So we're going to hold the bind button on the radio, turn on the radio, and you'll see the Spectrum screen start up. It will say binding. You can let go of the plug now. It is binding. We're getting telemetry from the heli, and it's auto configuring. So it's configuring all those settings from the heli flight controller, the receiver, and everything for the swash plate, the head, and everything. And it says, do you want to load the file from the receiver? So the receiver file is already on there for the radio, which is kind of amazing. So transmitter receiving is all going to be set up automatically. I'm just going to press load here. I select load, and it says yes, confirm. It's going to overwrite all the settings that were originally on this particular model. Now it's downloading all of that information from the heli to the transmitter. So now I have my mode switch set up. I've got all the settings programmed into the heli for me automatically. That saves us a ton of time. And for my first maiden, I know it's going to fly right. And now if you flip the hold mode switch right here, throttle hold activates and you can check out all of the swash plate directions and make sure everything is correct. So I'm going to flip hold. Now I can push forward, back, left, right, rudder, which is on the tail. You're not going to see that until you spin up, as well as throttle. You'll see it go up and down. When it's on hold, you will not see the head start to rotate. But again, very important that you take your blades off when you're binding up this helicopter. Everything is perfectly set up now. Okay, so we're at the end of the video now, and I have to give you my final thoughts and kind of some ideas what you can expect if you decide to buy into the Spectrum and the Blade ecosystem from Horizon Hobby. Now, some of you guys might not have heard of Horizon Hobby, but they have been around for over 20 years. They are an American RC company with many different brands in-house. You can check out the link down below for this one in our video description, but I have to tell you, I've been flying Horizon Hobby for probably 20 years. I was also a Horizon Hobby dealer, so I know a lot about the ecosystem of Spectrum. And it's just, I have to say thanks to Horizon for bringing me back in and getting me involved with Spectrum and AS3X and the Blade products, as well as some of the other products that they have to offer for you guys. I think going forward, we've talked about this on the channel, the availability of Chinese RC products is getting less and less. And a lot of you guys don't want to deal with the import restrictions, the tariffs, and things like that. And one of the reasons that we're moving forward in this channel for Horizon Hobby stuff is the fact that you can get it here in the US. There are some of these helis and planes from Horizon being made in China, but they're getting them in, they're dealing with the tariff costs, and we're seeing things at a higher price now than we were before. But we're also seeing less availability for a lot of RC products, and the wait time at the border sometimes can be weeks and months. So it's nice that we can still order inside the United States, get this shipped to your door a lot quicker than waiting for border and customs to let our drone or RC airplane pass through into the United States for hobby purposes. That's what we're all about. It's FUN. We're keeping it fun on the channel, and we're expanding all the time, and we're including new domestic partnerships as well. So this is our first Horizon Hobby video, and I mean, I hope you guys got something out of this. I really do. I hope you found maybe a new RC heli that you see and love as much as I do. And it's not just that it's an American company. It's the fact that I just want to keep this in the back seat of my car and fly it whenever I can. And I just enjoyed looking at it. But more importantly, it's fun to fly. It's very, very smooth. And it's quiet, so it's not super intimidating. It sounds beautiful in the air, and it makes me want to fly it all the time, especially with the smart batteries. They're a lot of fun. You get a good flight time out of it as well, and a pretty easy charging experience with the smart charger. So my first time going into the smart charger ecosystem, and I'm really enjoying that. And I'm enjoying being back into the Spectrum side of things as well. So I'll bring you more Spectrum style radio reviews on different bind and flies coming up on the channel from Horizon Hobby, Blade, E-flite, and all those in-house brands. So stay tuned for more amazing RC model reviews right here on the Drone Camps channel. Guys, please do subscribe. Get entered in for that December 15th giveaway coming up for a full-size 5-inch FPV racing drone, Drone Camps t-shirt, as well as an RC car and an FPV beginner bundle series. A whole bunch of swag. I'm going to make somebody's RC Christmas this year. So subscribe, like, and comment on this video, and you'll be entered to win. Guys, take care. I'm Justin Davis, dedicated to RC model reviews. Keep them flying, guys, and I will see you on the next one.